Hey, what's up, everybody? Here to bring you another video. Today we're going to talk about the Neca King Kong. I'm a King Kong fan. I know because well, I got the giant Mezco one. I have the Skull Island one, the smaller one. And when I can get my hands on some King Kong stuff, I can. Mostly because I truly do regret breaking my SH Monster Arts King Kong, and since then I have felt the type of way about handling my King Kong stuff. So that's a quick story for you guys. I miss my King Kong, and since I know I'll never get it back, I'm going to enjoy other King Kongs. So without further ado, yeah, I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised by this guy. While there are some things I don't like about it, there are a lot that I do, and it's a very enjoyable process of figuring out how do you make this look good while also keeping both the aesthetic and articulation. And I think Neca found a way of balancing most of that. There are very small gripes I have with it, but we'll get to it. I mean, as you can see, he can pose up with the beating chest. You can actually rotate this really far in. And since it has these horizontal joints, you can point them inward. So you can definitely do the beating chest, which I think is absolutely amazing. But let's get this guy down in a standard neutral pose so you can see what he's like. And then because I gotta say, like, his standard neutral is actually pretty good. I think the couple of gripes that I have, though, will hopefully determine how you want to go about it. The battle scars are absolutely phenomenal here across the chest, the face, and the little bit that is here. You don't need any on the back and stuff like that because King Kong is a very frontal fighter. It's not like he's doing ape jutsu or anything like that. He's very straight to the point, brush with power. They went with the classic head style, which I think is really good. This neutral head, though, I know it's actually pretty accurate, but something about it just doesn't sit well with me. I think they could have chosen more head sculpts. The open mouth is a little too jarring around the lips, but it actually, I don't know, it's something that doesn't sit well with me. I could be wrong, but I believe that it is accurate. It's just something about the realism of it hitting a 3D sculpt that is kind of crazy, and it just I don't know. As you can see here, it also looks a little crazy with the little eye popping action. But yeah, this classic Kong definitely has the look. It really, really does. Even up to the pointy head part coming down, which is really kind of crazy that they captured that. There is no butterfly joint, so that's one thing you won't get here. But you will get your standard rotating all the way around. You'll have bicep swivel. You'll actually get another rotation here. So on top of your bicep swivel, you actually get another rotation here at the double joint, and as well as one down here. So you actually get a lot of movement in that arms, which is very important for King Kong. It really is. Waist swivel wise, we can actually rotate all the way back. We can rotate all the way forward. I'm actually moving my diorama a little. We have our horizontal joints here on the wrist. They have it pegged there. As far as the legs, though, actually, let me just rotate up this in this T joint. These elongated arms look fantastic. You can actually rotate out. They're on a ratchet. You can go forward. And I like that the plastic here rotates up. I really do enjoy that. That way, it keeps the look as well as the articulation. But on the other end, it can end up warping your plastic. So it's a double-edged sword if you're going to hold it in those poses. I think that if it had a chance, being able to drop down would have helped it. But again, it is what it is. So you can rotate forward. You actually have that double joint here, these tiny legs, and you can rotate right here amongst this lower part of the calf, which is pretty dope. Same, one thing I do want to talk about, these joints are tight as hell. Like, you have to be very careful. I highly recommend you heat up your joints, because if you don't, you may run across some problems. Like on my left leg, I actually tend to pop it out because I'm too busy using so much strength on it. So I highly, highly, highly recommend you heat up those joints because they are in there. As far as our head, we can rotate down, we can look up, we can look a little left and right, not too crazy. The only drawback that I'm going to say about the head is that the neck peg I feel is a little too short, because when I try to move it around, it pops off almost instantly sometimes. I don't know what it is. It may just be me, but again, this is just what it is, and this is what I'm getting from it. So, oh, by the way, you can actually rotate this way. I don't know if I covered that. But getting this guy to pose up or look cool in buildings and things like that, like, I think this is going to be really dope for those who collect any sort of monsters or kaiju, anything like that. King Kong is going to be really dope to have. So yeah. I don't know, just the sculpt doesn't sit well with me. I don't know what it is about this neutral head. But don't get it twisted. Accessory wise, he comes with absolutely bare minimum. But again, he's King Kong. Because this sculpt right here, though, this sculpt is dope. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This sculpt is dope. It actually looks very close to what Mezco did. And if you look at it, it's very close to what Mezco did for their Kong sculpt. Theirs is a way more elongated that matched that movie from that one, but this is very close to that. They both look good though. Now, the other thing you get are going to get 2 open palms. And these are going to be your grappling palms while you have your fist here. So these also work on those pegs as you saw before. And then that's about it. There's not much to really cover with the Kong. I just wanted to showcase it because I finally took out my buildings. I started working on my big monster stuff. And I thought it was cool to kind of cover this as well as doing some other stuff. One thing I will say though, I definitely got a lot of Kongs, and shout out to the people who helped me get these Kongs, because I have plans to have these Kongs go up against Conan. Now, I'm not going to use them as one of those giant monsters, but I am going to use them as apes to fight Conan, because I thought that would be an excellent idea. And articulation-wise, they definitely fit the bill. So that's an idea that I have. One thing I will say, and me and Parallel talked about this in text messages, if you don't like that neutral head with some sticky tack, and you're going to have the head on straight, you can actually use the King Kong sculpt from Skull Island from Mezco to give you that best blend of the look here on, you can get the look of the sculpt on the Mezco toys, which I like the sculpt better on Mezco, but Neca killed it in terms of articulation. But you can get the best of both worlds here, like this. This is a very good look for this one. So I think this blends really well. You may need some sticky tack in there because it sits on it, but the pegs are not the same. So yeah. Now I'm going to pop on the yelling head, right? And I'm going to stand him straight up, because I want to do is I'm going to compare him to other things that would kind of fit in with him as that guy who, even if you're not fighting giant gorillas, like who are 50 stories tall, you can compare him to stuff like Ultraman, other King Kongs, Giant Man, Godzilla, things like that. So I'm going to stand him straight up, get that head down as much as possible in a neutral position. And then we're going to size them up for a size comparison. So let's do that. I'm going to put on the Mezco one so you can see the comparison between the Mezco and him. Pop the Mezco's head back on. And then we can see that Neca's is actually bigger. But again, if you like the sculpt, both are really good. Both are technically completely different, because this one is Skull Island. This is definitely classic King Kong. So having both actually does work out in your favor. I really hope they do another one for the upcoming Godzilla vs. King Kong. That will be fun. Here he is next to a Godzilla from Neca. And this is my Godzilla from Neca. Yeah. These two standing straight up. As you can see, he's not hunched over, so he stands over completely bigger than him, which kind of sucks in a way, but you can probably still have them fight each other. It'll look pretty good. Let's compare the Monster Arts Shin, whose tail I might have to take off just so he can fit in the frame. Let's see. No, I don't have to. Here he is next to Shin, the frozen one. And Shin seems to be a little bit closer to him. But again, I'm pretty sure you can make it work with like some action poses. Them standing up next to each other may not be the okay here. Okay, let's move this guy out of the way safely. Right. Then we're going to compare some other stuff. So just for giggles, because it's actually fun to do this, here he is next to a Ant-Man. But, Ant-Man can still use pin particles to join up and get bigger. So here he would still technically be smaller than Kong, but it's fun to put him in there. Next up, we have a Geed Ultimate Final from SH Figuarts. Let's actually rotate your staff behind you. And Geed actually ends up becoming the smallest right now, like the smallest. Then we have a Robot Spirits Mark II. So we can put him to the side. And the Mark II is tiny. You can stand in front of King Kong and still look kind of crazy small. Let's move these guys out of the way. And I'm going to throw in one more just for fun. And that's going to be Goldar, because you know, if the Power Rangers went up against King Kong or vice versa or whatever crossover, you can have some fun and do, you know, your monsters growing. Either way, Kong is fun. I'm glad our army built it. I can't wait because I'm excited for Conan. Me and my boy Jim Dim were talking about it, and Jake actually. We were just saying, like, you know, it would be fun to recreate some of that stuff, and this definitely helps you get it. So all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you found it informative. Hope you enjoyed the photos at the end as always. So please, guys, be good, do good, drink your water. Later.